Hollow That Hungers. Written by Flayed Wolf. Narrated by Savvy Bee. Eric McRae hadn't planned on coming back to Harlan County, but when his childhood friend Mason called saying their buddy Tyler had gone missing in the mountains, he couldn't ignore it. The three of them had grown up running those ridgelines like they were playgrounds. If Tyler was lost, something was wrong. Eric arrived at Mason's place just before dusk. The sky was bruised purple, the kind of color that meant night would fall fast. Mason met him on the porch, arms crossed, jaw tight. "You came?" Mason said. "Didn't think you would." "You said Tyler's missing," Eric replied. "Of course I came." Mason nodded toward the tree line. "He went up into Black Hollow 3 nights ago. Never came back." Eric felt a cold pinch in his gut. Why the hell would he go up there alone? Mason hesitated. Said he heard something. A voice. Thought it was his sister. His sister's been dead 10 years. I know. Before Eric could respond, the screen door creaked open and an older woman stepped out. Mason's Aunt Ruth. She'd practically raised all three boys. "You two best not be going up there," she said, voice sharp as a snapped twig. "Black Hollow ain't right. Hasn't been for generations." "We don't have a choice," Mason said. "Tyler's out there." Ruth's eyes softened, but only a little. "Then you listen to me. If you hear someone call your name, you don't answer. If you see someone you know, you don't trust it. And if you smell meat, fresh meat, you run." Eric frowned. Why meat? Ruth looked at him like he was a child. "Because that's how it hunts." They set out with flashlights, rifles, and a pack of supplies. The trail into Black Hollow was narrow, overgrown, and strangely quiet. No crickets, no wind, just the crunch of their boots. After an hour, Mason broke the silence. "You remember the stories?" he asked. "About the Wendigo?" Eric said. "Yeah, but those were just campfire tales." Mason didn't answer. They reached the old fire tower near the ridge. Tyler used to climb it to smoke weed and pretend he could see all the way to Tennessee. Eric shined his light up the rusted ladder. "Tyler, you up there?" The voice drifted down. "Eric? Mason? Up here?" Mason's face lit with relief. "Tyler, hold on. We're coming." Eric grabbed his arm. "Wait, that didn't sound right. It's him." "No," Eric said. "Listen." The voice came again. Same words, same tone, exactly the same. "Eric? Mason? Up here?" Like a recording. Mason's breath hitched. That that ain't Tyler." A scraping sound echoed from inside the tower. Something moving. Something big. Eric stepped back. "We need to go." The voice changed. Warped. Stretched. "Mason. Help me. Please." Mason's eyes filled with tears. "That's him. That's really him." "It's not," Eric said firmly. "You know it's not." A long, skeletal hand gripped the edge of the platform above. Fingers too long, joints bending wrong. Then another. Then a face leaned over the railing. It looked like Tyler, but its mouth was too wide, its eyes too pale, its skin too tight against bone. Help me, it whispered. Mason stumbled backward. Oh, God. The thing dropped from the tower, landing on all fours with a wet crack. It rose slowly, bones popping like knuckles. Eric raised his rifle. Run! They bolted into the trees as the creature shrieked behind them. A sound like metal tearing. They didn't stop until they reached Mason's family's old hunting cabin. Mason slammed the door shut and shoved a dresser in front of it. Eric paced, heart hammering. That wasn't Tyler. That thing was wearing him like a mask. Mason sank onto a cot, shaking. I heard him. Eric, I heard his voice. That's what it does, Eric said. Ruth warned us. Soft knock came at the door. Both men froze. Another knock, then a voice. Tyler's voice. Mason, please let me in. It's cold. Mason covered his ears. No, 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 no. Eric whispered. Don't answer. The voice grew more desperate. Mason, it hurts. Why won't you help me? Then it shifted. Deeper. Hungrier. Let me in. The doorframe groaned as something pressed against it. Eric raised his rifle. If it gets in, aim for the head. The knocking stopped. Silence. Then a whisper slid through the cracks in the wall. Eric. He stiffened. You're hungry, ain't you? Eric felt something cold crawl up his spine. It knows my name. It knows everything, Mason whispered. Hours passed. The creature circled the cabin, scraping its claws along the wood, whispering in voices that weren't its own. Just before dawn, the whispers stopped. Eric peeked through a crack in the boards. The forest was still. We make for the ridge, he said. Sun's coming up. Maybe it'll keep its distance. They slipped out and moved fast. The woods felt different, like the trees were leaning in, listening. Halfway up the ridge, they found a clearing, and in the center of it, Tyler, or what was left of him. His body was torn apart, ribs cracked wide like a butchered deer. His face was intact, eyes frozen in terror. Mason fell to his knees. Oh, God, Tyler. Eric swallowed hard. He was using his voice, his face. The twig snapped behind them, and they turned. The Wendigo stood at the edge of the clearing, taller than any man, limbs thin as branches, mouth stretched into a jagged grin. It spoke in Tyler's voice. Don't leave me. Then in Ruth's. You're hungry. Then in Eric's own voice. Come feed. Eric fired. Mason fired. The creature shrieked and vanished into the trees. They ran until their legs gave out, until the sun finally broke over the ridge and the forest felt alive again. Not safe, but natural. Ruth met them at the edge of town. One look at their faces and she knew. You saw it, she said quietly. Eric nodded. Tyler's gone. Ruth closed her eyes. I'm sorry, boys. Mason stared at the mountains. It's still out there. It always will be. Ruth said. Hunger like that don't die. Eric shivered. What do we do? Ruth looked at him with tired, knowing eyes. You remember? You warn others. And you never, ever go back into Black Hollow. But that night, as Eric lay in the guest room trying to sleep, he heard a voice outside the window. Soft. Familiar. Eric, you're hungry, ain't you? And he knew the hollow wasn't done with him. Not yet.